two more main questions I think we should talk about with regards to success, and then maybe we'll do a couple of little things. One is the things that help and hinder, right? So like if we pick out one of those big successes and then think about how relationships really push you towards that success, or like maybe with your marriage, that could be one that you said was a big success. Like you got to that point, but like who kind of helped you along the way, or how do the relationships around you influence your ability to find that success?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And so I think marriage, for example, right? There is a chain of girlfriends that I had before I got married. And I could list out the chain, and I could tell you all the wonderful things that relationship has imparted upon me. Right. And so it didn't go from being 18 years old and being like, I will never get married, I'm a burden, to being 27, 28 and getting married. It's not a jump that happened overnight.
Yeah. Okay.
But looking back, I can tell you stepwise the process that I went through. And so it's really interesting to think, if I had not surrounded myself with such a high caliber of people, where my path would have ended. So I think the relationships that you have and the people that you kind of adopt values and metrics from are pivotal to where you end up in life.
I love that idea that these relationships you had weren't just stepping stones or things that didn't work out, like a failure. Like I thought this was a good one and then it failed. But instead they were moments that you learned something new, things that built up, that you get something out of each one, and both parties learn something about each other and themselves.
Yeah.
And it leads you to a positive outcome or a better thing in the future, even if that relationship doesn't turn into a marriage, right?
Yeah. And all those relationships failed. And some of them failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
Right? Just up in flames. But I think you just absolutely nailed it. I was able to adopt values or metrics, or have my values or metrics opened or changed or influenced so that I could progress forward. You're either in a steady upward cycle or you're going the other way. Progression is one of those things that needs to be happening at all time. And you can either be deliberate about it or you can let it happen to you. So I know people who have willy-nilly gone where the wind blows, and they're very successful, but they have no say in how they got there.
It's really easy to focus on the failures of those relationships blew up in flames, or that's the last part. That's the part you remember sometimes the most, how this thing broke. But to not look at it that way and try to think of it, the positive things you learned, or that those things led you towards a better time in the future, seems like a much healthier way to observe our past than to focus on our failures, which is the natural kind of human thing to do.
And I cannot underscore this enough. Some of them were absolute failure. Like me crying, unable to this is over, my life's horrible. Right?
I don't think you're alone in feeling that. I'm sure everyone listening has felt those same feelings with relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even sometimes in my current relationship, I'll express something and it won't be received the way that I intended for it to be received. And I'm an absolute failure. I'm not communicating. And this has been actually really hard for me. Me and my wife have vastly different communication styles. And for someone who has prided themselves on their ability to interact with others, when my wife doesn't get my interaction, I'm messed up. How am I supposedly good at this? Do it professionally. Can't convey it to the person who I love most and am trying to help out. So absolute failure filled.